So this video is and if if you're seeing this and we're not connected as friends. My name is Paul Newell. What's up, T? Christine Clifton, what's up? My name is Paul Newell, and this is my video recall of an experiment I did to what's up, Sherilyn? This is a recall of an experiment I did to test or to gauge my emotional intelligence and emotional mobility. Just to give some context, what happened or where this all came about is I have high blood pressure. I've been having hip issues, my sacroiliac joint, had plantar wart on my foot, like it's disrupted my body in a lot of ways, and I'm just at this point where I'm tired of it. And I'm curious and open to exploring ways that, or the roots of these conditions, this disease that exists in my body. So, some of the past, Christine, what's up? Yeah, love. Some of the past videos that I've had, I've talked about a lot my meditation practice and really diving in. And I feel like it got me prepared for what's come up. I feel like I've been following more of the breadcrumbs as far as getting some more details around my healing. So today, I'm taking you guys on this little journey that happened today. So I was with a friend. We went to Barnes & Noble. I just got this gauge to go to Barnes & Noble. And like we went to go get cards, to check out the tarot and get a card deck. And this book stood out to me. Okay, Metaphysical Anatomy. Your body is talking. Are you listening? Just even right there, I just got to take a breath. Ugh. Jeez. So listen, so I get this book, right? I'm looking at this book. It's like it came and smacked me upside the head. I was like, oh, snap. It was right there. Pulled it out, opened it up. Guess what it opens up to? Blood pressure symptoms. And I'm going to show you the page specifically. This is the page I opened up to. Just off the cuff, open up to this one. And that's when I decided I got to have this book. And that's not even where the story really gets juicy, okay? I posted something before about, David, what's up, man? I posted something about high blood pressure medications, and like they're finding that it has ill side effects. And that really just concerned me because I was taking high blood pressure medication for a long time. So I wanted to, like, as I'm doing more things to contribute to keeping my blood pressure low and maintaining it, I'm also addressing what could be the root. So when I get home, okay, read on this one. So I get home, and I'm like, okay, I gotta just dive into this thing. Tom, what's up, man? So I get home, I dive into this thing, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, let me look up the high blood pressure. So right off the bat, right? Oh my goodness. The emotions, right? First of all, the emotions. You feel powerless in your circumstances, and use suppressed rage, aggression, or anger to express boundaries. Now, here's where this really struck me, because like I'm so used to like wearing a mask and keeping my anger under wraps that like when I feel like I have to create a boundary, it comes out in the worst possible way. If you don't believe me, you can ask my former wife and family members. So this has been an issue for me because like as I get older, I know that if anger is controlling me, then like something's not right. Like I get to experience this and move through it. That's where the emotional intelligence and mobility comes in. So when I started reading this, I was like, whoa, I started feeling this bubbling in my gut. And I'm like, dang, this is crazy. So then I look at this, I said, okay, this is interesting. There may have been a great deal of stress in childhood when my parents experienced divorce, and that has not been resolved. Your parents may have been occupied with problems, demands from others. Now, just disclaimer, I'm not trying to put blame on anyone. I'm just saying like this is something that may contribute to the blood pressure that I'm observing, that I'm witnessing, that I'm just receiving and studying. So you may feel confused as to going about finding happiness. Yup, may turn to alcohol to take the edge off when life becomes too overwhelming. Old fashions with Maker's Mark. Thanks. I'll take 2. The stress in your life, your family life, has left you feeling unsafe and unsure of when to relax and when to be on guard. Yup, it impacts me in relationships because as soon as I feel like I'm going in, I want to constrict. So I start reading on and I'm just like, dang, this is so freaking resonating with me right now. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. So as I'm reading this, it said you may be stewing on negative emotions and thoughts. You cannot let go of past injustices. B, what's up, man? Past injustices. So I'm like, oh God, this is really resonating. So now I say you may be suppressing emotions to a point where it may be explosive. You often leave urgent matters to be decided at the last minute, knowing that it's difficult to resolve issues in the heat of the moment. So I was like, oh my goodness, Sonia, what's up? I was like, this is bananas. This is like, what? Now here's where, now this isn't even the interesting synchronous part of this. Oh, so it says you may need more patience and willingness. So as I turn the page to explore further, this page that had the high blood pressure symptoms that I first turned to, remember I told you that in the beginning? This has key points. So what I'm about to say here, Kimberly, what's up? What I'm about to say here and go here, I may go into a space where there may be adult language, because again, like when this happened, it was like very intense. Intention, emotional intelligence, awareness, and mobility. So I start reading these questions that I get to ask myself to really dig what this energy is. Now this is metaphysical, so I'm addressing the physical, doing my stretches, but I'm also looking at what's the energetics. What's happening in my body that may be contributing, that's a possibility that could be contributing to my issue, my dis-ease. So as I'm reading some of these questions, when did the symptoms of blood pressure start? Did my mother have high blood pressure while she was pregnant? My mom and a lot of people in my family have heart disease, have blood pressure issues. The fetal blood pressure may have greatly been influenced by the mother's intense emotions, such as anger, feeling betrayed, suppressed, controlled, trapped. And it always invites us to explore further possibility. It's this book. You're only doing this for you, not others on the same page. We all do this. Yeah, thank you, T. Boys, and this is the book here, Metaphysical Anatomy by Yvette Rose. Yeah, right here. Yup. I'm telling you, any healers, any light bearers out there, yo, pick this piece up immediately. Yes, I said it like that because I'm passionate about it. This is what you need to do. Because listen what happened. So I'm reading this question and I feel something bubbling up in me. So I'm like, what? Did your mother feel under a great deal of stress and pressure from others while pregnant? Drawing the power from suppressed anger and fear of the unknown. How does this pattern keep you safe? What is the benefit of the pattern? And then it was like, the thing that really got me, what was the one that got me? Oh, how does hiding your anger keep you safe and serve you? So this is where it got crazy. It's like when I read the question, it's like I got into a rage. Like I was like, what? Like this intense anger, rage just flushed through my body. I'm running through my house. I'm cursing. I'm like, ugh. And I'm like, what the heck am I going to do with this? Now, again, as I'm using my body and my mind and my spirit as an experiment. So I can, again, the intention of emotional intelligence, awareness, and mobility, moving into and through an emotion. So the great thing about this is that I set up this thing a while back down in my basement called the Smash Experience, all right? Which is basically something where I can get to smash and transmute what kind of emotion I'm feeling and get to smash the shit out of it along a freaking wall so it gets dispersed. It's like transmutation, look it up. It's transferring energies. So I'm like, oh, I gotta go downstairs, like, oh, I'm like cursing up a storm. I run downstairs, man. I get on my half foam roll on my knees. I put my gloves and my goggles on because I gotta be safe. And I'm like, I got these bottles down there. I got this thick Cavassier bottle. Because you know why? Just like it said in this article, I use alcohol to, I forget how it said it, but like I use alcohol as a way to suppress or repress or push down my emotion. So I'm going and I'm like, now here's where it was interesting. And I say this because as people have emotions, or if you have high blood pressure, anger could be the issue. And I got an opportunity here to honor the anger. I said, thank you for coming. Now you can pass through. And I transmuted that energy into this, blow. I took that freaking bottle of Cavassier and that thing smashed into smithereens. And like, it's like there was something in my body and my heart that just poof lifted. Now here's the interesting thing, because like I was just like getting these download of thoughts. And now anger started rushing through. I was like, oh, junk. Now, this is a fear I've had. Addressing and approaching my anger, like I've had fears of this because I wouldn't know when the valve would stop. I wouldn't express it to other people because I didn't know if they'd be able to handle it. I didn't express it. I didn't want to put it in. So I'd be like, you know, I'm going to go get some Wendy's. I'm going to get myself an old fashioned. And I'm going to smoke a joint. And I'm going to freaking put this all down in my freaking belly because I want other people to feel safe. And I'm not going to respect myself in this emotion that's just like joy and sadness that I get to express. So when I let this thing go, I let it be expressed. Now here's the thing: when this book was talking about the fetus, like what was the situation of the mother, I think it's really interesting because when we think about like physically our DNA, we pass through traits, but now energetically we also pass through traits. So when there's high blood pressure, what was coming up for me in this experience, I started getting downloads of anger from black men. And it was not black men around now. It was like black men in slave times that were angry that their friends were being lashed and killed and dismembered, that their wives were being raped and their towns were being pillaged and they had no way of life and they were stuck together and a lot of them died in the transfer. And I felt all this anger and I invited it in because I was like, you know what? Bring it and pass through. Let it move through me. I don't have to hold it. So if you're having an emotion, don't hold that junk. Because it's gotta let go. And this is a thing I find with men, and like me as a black man, I can only speak as my experience. I don't want to be that angry black guy, right? Because I don't think people could take that junk. So what do, I push that emotion down and I hold on to it instead of letting it pass through. So whatever I was angry about can come forward. And this was a powerful piece for me because like I also felt like I felt after that passed through, then I got another wave of this like anger of like this block that I have about moving forward. And for me, the moving forward is like I have fears of moving forward because anytime my experience and the anger I experience, anytime a black man moves forward and speaks in truth, they get clipped. So I'm in fear and I'm scared and I'm angry about it and I hold it and that's come down. So why I bring this up is because there's just an opportunity here, and I'm doing this experiment myself before, you guys have heard this before. I learn and integrate before I teach and guide. So this is an important piece, especially when we're talking about emotional intelligence. It's an opportunity for us to really look at, listen, if we're having a physical ailment, being able to get a book like this and just be open to the possibility. You can hear this. You don't have to believe a word I'm saying. All I'm saying, be curious for your own health and well-being because we're so much more than just the body. Issues will reside in the tissues and they may not be just yours. So I say this to you, I share this story, I'm a little butt pucker on this and I'm probably not going to come back to watch this video ever. But either way, get this book right here, please, for yourself, or if you're working with others and they're open to stuff like this, open to exploring a possibility of something that could be contributing to the health and well-being of your vessel. Because this is a vessel. So if you tuned in, thank you for supporting, thank you for watching this, thank you for your comments. Boyson, thank you for posting that. So if you're watching this later on, like Boyson posted a link, check this out. And men, and I'm speaking for the men right here. Dude, listen, own the freaking anger and rage. Own that shit. Disclaimer, do that in a space that's secure. Do that in a space that you trust, because I'm telling you, you holding that shit in is killing you. And I'm telling you, you're dying at the hand. We're dying at the hand. This is what's happened. You look at the stats, men are killing themselves. Okay? Because they hold this shit, they don't know what to do with it, and they want to keep people safe because they don't think anybody can handle it. Just like with anger, same thing with sadness. A man's not taught to cry, right? And I know for me, if I start crying, when do I stop? And here's the thing, gents. It does stop, and something else is beyond it. Don't hold that shit, man, because it's killing us. My blood pressure, this anger issue is killing me. Thank you for tuning in. Listen, as I learn and integrate for myself, I'm going to teach and guide and share what I got because people need to hear this. Take care of yourselves. There's options, and you are so much more than a body. Appreciate and love it all. Blessings.